Hello everyone, this is Venom, and we are back with another Destiny 2 video. Today we're looking at the exotic combinations for effects you can get on the exotic class armor for the Warlock for the Prismatic subclasses coming out in final shape. Now, of course, we've already done the Titan and the Hunter. Just like them, we're going to be doing 5 PvE combinations I've come up with, as well as 1 PvP combination. And then you guys will let me know down below what you guys are looking for to try to combine. So what roles you're going to be farming for. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started in here. Now again, the honorable mention I mentioned it on the other two already. I mentioned it here again. Do not sleep on the Heart of Inmost Light and the Spirit of the Star Eater. I think that's going to be the generic build or the generic combination you can use for all 3 classes. So because I didn't want to limit it to 1 class, I mentioned that on all 3 of them. I think out of all the cross-class effects, that combination will be the best one generically for all 3 classes. Now, it's not going to be S tier, but I think it's going to be a solid A tier for just generic extra power for your super and extra ability regen for all your abilities. So keep that one in mind. That being said, the first one just for the Warlock is going to be the Spirit of the Necrotic combined with the Spirit of the Claw. Now, again, the Necrotic Grip one is one that I did not think they would actually add in there. I hoped that they would, and they did. I cannot believe they did it. It says damaging combatants with your melee poisons them. Defeating a poisoned enemy spreads a condition. Now, there's a caveat to this. We still don't know if the weapons that work with the Necrotic Grips are going to work with this class item. If they do, awesome. If they don't, that'll be a bit of a problem, because part of the Necrotic Grip's appeal is the fact that it actually works with a couple weapons like the Thorn, and those kills also spread poison too. Warlock's not necessarily a melee heavy class. It does have a few good abilities. The Necrotic Grips working with those weapons are what really makes them good, especially for ad clear. So I'm hoping it still works with them, because that portion of the effect should still be the same. Now combine that with the Spirit of the Claw, you get an additional melee charge. So by using the melee the way it was meant to be used, that will actually be able to proc with the Necrotic, Spirit of the Necrotic. Now, some melees you could probably use with this one. Again, I would probably go ahead and use the 3-banger melee, the Strand melee. Now, you're going to have to aim for some lower tier enemies with that one, but you don't have to actually kill them with them. You just have to damage them, so keep that one in mind. You don't need to kill the enemy. It's not like the Hunter combinations I came up with. You don't have to kill them, you just have to damage them. Now, I'm also hoping that the Spirit of the Claw will stack with the Strand melee and give us 4 charges. I don't know if that'll work. We've never seen charges that high on any skill, but yeah, I mean, I'd really like to see if that's going to work with us or not. I hope it does. If it doesn't, oh well. If it does, great. Alright, next up, we've got the Spirit of the Filaments and the Spirit of the Vesper. The Spirit of the Filaments says, casting an empowering whip will grant you Devour. So pretty much automatic Devour without having to get a grenade kill. Without having to get a kill at all, just cast your Rift and you've got Devour going on you. To work with that and to go ahead and try to get your first kill, imagine casting that on top of an enemy with the Spirit of the Vesper, which says, the Rift periodically releases arc shockwaves. Cast this in the middle of some enemies, it's going to proc Devour automatically, and then that Rift shockwave will damage or potentially kill enemies and give you your health back as well. And they'll stay there and will periodically create more shockwaves. So you were basically able to drop a mine in the middle of a field and then have Devour proc as well. That mine will heal you as well as any damage or any kills you get by yourself as well. So it's going to be a double whammy. So this is basically going to turn your Rift into a mine or into an AoE, almost like a grenade, but it's basically going to turn it into a periodic AoE you can drop anywhere and automatically proc that Devour, which is one of the most powerful healing moves there is. Now, granted, you're not going to heal, 100% anymore with Devour, but 100 points is still 100, or I think it's 100 health is still pretty damn good. So this is a combination I'm looking forward to. This is both an offensive and defensive skill, so you just got to survive long enough to get that Rift down. And it doesn't say it's got to be, casting an Empowering Whip. So you do have to use the Empowering Whip with this one. But again, you're going to be proccing Devour with that one. So you're still going to be getting that healing. You don't got to worry about using it with Healing Rift, which obviously is not going to work here. At Devour is basically making this a 2-in-1 Rift right there. So bonus points for that one. Next up, this is going to be for a grenade build specifically. So if you're not using a grenade build, this is probably not going to be worth it for you, but it's going to be the Spirit of Inmost Light, which of course is going to empower all your ability regens by using your different abilities, combined with the Spirit of Verity. Now, Spirit of Verity is one that says weapon final blows with a damage type matching your grenade grant a stacking grenade damage bonus. So this is going to be one specifically for grenade builds. Now, add this one in with the, I think it's called Devour, and that's going to be great for melee builds for the Warlock. Now, you will probably be able to go ahead and make not only a good grenade build, but probably make a super spam build with this as well. But the grenades that the Warlocks have are some of the best grenades in the game. And the grenades that the Warlock has access to for Prismatic are some of the really good grenades too. Now that being said, until I can actually get in a test, we won't be able to see just how quickly the ability regen is going to be on the Inmost Light. Now, of course, the Heart of Inmost Light was nerfed on the Titan. We don't know what the exotics are going to be looking like for Final Shape. Now, I keep mentioning this because they also mentioned in that tweet that they have retuned, or they basically said they went out and retuned some of the exotics as well, and some of the effects that were on them. We don't know if that just meant they changed some of the ones that were existing, if they buffed others. I would suspect that any exotic that has an effect listed on one of the exotic class items has probably been looked at. So keep that one in mind. Every possibility that effect has been buffed, or at the very least, it might have been buffed on the original. We'll see. But that being said, it's going to be great for grenade builds. It's going to help you with your generic grenade recharges, combined with all the other charges or charging abilities you've already got on the Warlock as well. So I think it's going to be a very, very powerful grenade-focused build. On top of the fact, you'll be able to have essentially 2 different kinds of grenades on your Warlock, depending on how you build it too, thanks to the Bleak Watcher turrets. Next up, this is going to be a super base build. And this is going to be one that I'd say you're going to specifically want to use with like a one-and-done super like Cataclysmic or like the Strand super. It's going to be the Spirit of Apotheosis, which says temporarily gain increased melee and grenade regen after your super ends, combined with the Spirit of the Star Eater, which of course is going to overcharge your super. So this is one I think is going to, once you cast your super, you're obviously going to be getting your abilities coming back to you quicker. Using those abilities will actually help you get your super back as a Warlock too. There are quite a few mods you can add on that'll give you back your energy for getting grenade kills, for using your class ability on your enemies. Some of these are going to be really good to help you get that energy back. Combine that with the Spirit of the Star Eaters to get out your to make your super stronger. I think it's going to be a very, very good combination for a damaging build. Now, unfortunately, we do not have the same ability that the Hunter does, the Spirit of Galanor, where you get back up to half of your energy by casting and doing damage with your super. Only the Hunter got that one, so we're going to have to get a little creative with the Warlocks to get that super back quicker. But I think this is, I think it's going to be a really good way to do it. Your abilities as a Warlock are going to help you get your super back, and charging up those abilities after you cast your super, I think is going to be really good. Now, seeing how much more or how quickly they charge up after casting is really going to determine how feasible this is. But again, you can't go wrong with the Star Eater, so I think that might be a really good combination. And finally, the 5th one is going to be the Spirit of the Stag, which says your Rift provides damage reduction to allied guardians standing in it. This is almost like using the Grasp of Renewal for the Hunter, which is what really kind of caught my eye to it. I don't know how good the damage reduction is going to be, but we will see when that comes out. On top of the Spirit of the Starfire, and I know you hear Starfire, people are like, oh, boo, it got nerfed, but it's a different effect for here. There we go. Grenades recharge from empowered weapon damage, with empowered weapon final blows granting more energy. So, a Starfire protocol effect combined with the Spirit of the Stag, both of which are going to work off the Rift. Using your empowered Rift is going to be important here. You're basically going to be able to reduce the damage that Guardians take, not just you, but your fellow Guardians, while getting your grenades recharged a little bit quicker. Now, I know Starfire protocol got nerfed. However, it's still a good effect to have. And this is one that actually came to me because I'm used to doing Root of Nightmares runs, and I was actually thinking when you're sitting there fighting the final boss, if you don't have her well ready to go, or if you get to that damage point too quickly, you want to go ahead and put down a Rift to keep you and your allies alive. Sometimes you get killed before you actually start fighting Nezarec. So that Rift, putting that Rift down, is going to help keep you guys alive. On top of that, you're still going to get the Starfire effect to get your fusion grenades out there quickly. Now again, yes, I know that the grenades they're not going to explode twice. You're not going to be building a Starfire protocol build around this. It's just a generic help your teammates out while you are able to do a little bit extra damage with all your other effects as well. So this is not going to be like a top tier either one. This is going to be a protect your teammates while you do a little extra damage as well. So keep that one in mind. And then for the PvP portion of this one, I was actually looking at the Spirit of the Stag and Spirit of the Vesper. Stag, of course, says it will reduce the damage your allied guardians take, on top of releasing that shockwave. So this, to me, is essentially, like what I mentioned before, the Spirit of Renewal, taking less damage in a PvP scenario with you and your fellow guardian standing inside there, plus damaging anyone who comes nearby as well. So again, I don't know how feasible it's going to be for PvP, but to me, you're basically dropping a mine somewhere that's damaging other enemies. Now, I'm not saying get Devour, because you probably want to go ahead and get the damage. Sorry, there was a bug right there. You probably want the damage reduction over the Devour, unless you're just really cracked, in which case you go ahead and go for Devour. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit tired here. But in my mind, that damage reduction for all your teammates, on top of the fact you're releasing arc shock waves to damage enemies nearby, that's like a pretty good one and done for your class ability for PvP. Let me know if I'm wrong about that down in the comments. Again, I don't like PvP much, but to me this sounds like it'd be a good one. Basically turning your Rift into a mine and a way to take less damage. And that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you all for coming by. I do have some more build videos coming out. Now that we've got these effects, I've had to go back and adjust some of those builds. I will be working on them again right after this. I have not re-recorded them, but they're not going to take me too long. I've just had to make a couple of adjustments to them. So I will get those knocked out here fairly soon. That being said, thank you all for coming by. Please like the video if you like what we're doing here. Please subscribe if you love it. And I will see you all on the next video.